welcome back to my channel, Bookworms. So today you have clicked on this video because you want to hear about the October Society. So the October Society is a collection of books. By collection I mean it is a duology, and this is an indie published series by Christopher Robertson. I actually stumbled upon these books on TikTok. I decided to pick up The Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robertson before picking up The October Society to read, and absolutely fell in love with that story. It is in my clown video, which I will link in the cards for you to go and watch. So this vlog is going to be all about The October Society by that same author. Because why not? We love creepy stories by indie authors. And I wanted to dedicate a whole vlog to me telling you all about the books and telling you what I enjoy and if you should pick them up. The October Society is a collection of episodes for a TV show that is set in the static between channels on a vintage TV, and each episode is a different story told by a teenage kid around a campfire with their other friends. So this kind of follows a group of teens who gather around the campfire on the eve of Halloween, and they tell their stories to each other, creep each other out, and there is so many different stories in this that would relate to a lot of different people because they are all individual, because all of the characters are different and they have different interests in terms of the stories that they want to tell. So I have finished season 1 of the October Society, and I probably didn't film a lot of me reading this. I don't know why. I kind of just got stuck in and forgot to film, but essentially I give it 5 stars. I thought this book was so beautifully written in the sense that it does center around these episodes rather than chapters, and we have a set of teens who we get to know in between each of the episodes of the stories that they tell. It's really funny. There is a ads section in each of the episodes, so we cut away from this story and we have a set of ads that just have no meaning, like ads or just ads, and then it cuts back into the teenagers who are telling the story, and then we go back into the story that they're telling. So it does jump around a lot, and I really love that premise. It is written in a way that a TV show would be, and I thought it was, in that sense, it's very, very good. All of the stories are completely different. You have such an array of options. Like you won't enjoy all of the stories that these teens are telling you, because obviously they're all written differently and they're told through the lenses of these different teens. And you have like werewolf stories, grandma stories, loads and loads of different things, and some of them can be pretty dark and twisty, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I really loved when they're telling the stories and there is a twist in their story that you probably don't see, or they sound wacky. I really loved it. It was so incredibly written. The haunted drive-in story was pretty good. I thought that one was very well done. It made it seem very vintage and very creepy, so I really liked that story. But they all are fun and enchanting in some sort of way, but I think my favourite definitely was that haunted drive-in, because it was just so different and wacky and just so much fun to read. And also I really loved how this book kind of took a twist at the end. Obviously, like I said, there is an overall plot in this story where we're following the teenagers who are gathered around the campfire as they tell the stories, but in each episode it comes back to the characters who are telling the story, and we're following their journey throughout this night in the lead up to Halloween. And I really loved on the last episode how things turned, and it was such a thrill to witness, and I feel like I would love to go back and experience that again because it was just so lovely and so different. I feel like you probably don't see it coming. I know whenever I was reading it, I didn't really see it coming. I was just so entranced. Christopher Robertson does a very good job of writing unique stories. The Cotton Candy Massacre was written like a movie with cut to scenes, and it was just so wacky and full of killer clowns and such gory elements. This is like a TV show, so I feel like it's very unique in that sense, and I really loved reading it. This is incredible. The book starts off kind of in the same way as the first book, where it introduces you to the character, what happens, and then we roll to the start of the October Society. This is told through the static between channels, so its opening credits kind of start there, and it's so incredibly eerie and it's just incredibly written. I adore this book already, and I'm only into episode 3. So episode 1 I really enjoyed because it tied back into season 1. Our characters aren't just one dimensional, they're given a personality and they remember things. So I really enjoyed how that was written and that node back to season 1. So yeah, I think this book has more dimension than the first book. Currently, it's like so good. We see them talk more about the issues that they're facing, and they're telling stories around a campfire again. So it's very nostalgic in the sense that it's pretty much the same as the season 1, the first book, but we know more, and the characters know more in this book, and I feel like that just makes them more than just one dimensional. It creates like their character, and we know what we're following in this story. And the two short stories as well, the two stories that the characters have told so far have been even better than the first one, and I didn't think that was possible. Those stories were so imaginative, and the two stories that are told in here were even more imaginative. So I'm shocked by how incredible it is. I am really looking forward to reading some more of this story and giving you more of my thoughts at the end when I'm finished. I just thought I would check in here and let you know how I feel about the story so far. So I have been reading the October Society duology, soon to be trilogy, which I am so excited for. I have said this before, if you've seen my Goodreads, I have reviewed this book and season 1 already, so I will link it down in the description so you can go and check out Goodreads for all of my reviews as soon as I finish the books before I get around to posting the video. So I've said it 1,000 times, but Christopher Robertson is such a master of words. He creates such incredible, unique stories that I just can't comprehend how somebody is this creative. There is so much going on in this. Each episode has a unique story that is told by our main characters. And I feel like when I was reading this, I definitely felt like I was watching a TV show at some points, like I was part of the gang some points. Whenever we cut to the October Society and they're sat around the campfire, it definitely feels like you're part of that gang, and how they talk amongst each other is definitely written like you're part of it, you're not just reading it. And I feel like that is such a unique element to writing a horror story. He definitely plays on the nostalgic elements of our childhoods. It is a complex web of storytelling mixed with creepy elements, as well as never losing sight of our main characters, which you can see are here. We have a lot more dimension in the season 2. It feels like they are actual people, and I feel like that's such a strength to be able to write something and to personify fictional characters in such a way that you feel like they're actually written about somebody, which they probably are, but to encapsulate that on paper is such an incredible way of writing. You kind of get lost in the little short story that's being told, which I find fascinating. Each of them are so different, and they're not told in the same way, even though it's the same person writing. He does an incredible job of making them each sound different. So my final thoughts on the October Society season 1 and season 2, I'd say that it's incredibly well written. They are fun to read, and something that is kind of similar would be the Midnight Club. If you have read that and have enjoyed either the books or the TV show, then I feel like this has similar elements that you would enjoy as well. So I would highly suggest picking this up if you enjoyed the Midnight Club. And that is my thoughts on the October Society. I hope this has helped you figure out if you'd want to read this book. I would highly suggest picking them up. They are incredible reads and totally worth your time, especially around the Halloween season. I would suggest picking those up. So thank you so much for watching. Do check out my links in the description, where you can find my Goodreads and my Letterboxd for more book and movie reviews. And do come back again for more book reviews, reading vlogs, and horror recommendations. But do let me know in the comments if you have read this, what you thought of it. I would really love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!